You are trying to scale your Amazon FBA business, whether you are doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, a mix of the two. Should you actually get a warehouse, your own warehouse, or should you work with a prep center? This is what we are going to talk about in today's video. We are going to talk about the pros and cons, and I'm going to tell you about what my plan is. But before we actually do this, if you need help growing your online arbitrage business, link in the description, you can book a call with me if you need a mentor to actually help you reach your goals. You can book a call, link in the description, look at my availability, and you can book a call as early as tomorrow. Second link that you're going to find is for the Discord server. If you want to grow on Amazon, you need to build a network. Best way to do it, come on the Discord server and start being active. Talk to people, you'll meet friends. And you'll start growing your network, all right? So let's just dive directly into the video. Should you get your own warehouse? And it does not need to be a big warehouse. It can just be like a storage unit that you work from, because at one point it gets hard to actually work from your house, right? Because you get a lot of stuff, like your house is full, and if you want to hire people, it's better to actually get a warehouse than working at your house, right? Or should you work with a prep center? The thing is that working with a warehouse is going to reduce your cost, all right? Yes, you have some overhead. There are some benefits because it makes you more legit, especially if you do wholesale, because you can give your warehouse address to companies when you actually open an account. It's going to be a little bit easier, and it's also easier for, like, it will make things more serious for you, because like you have overhead, you need to work, you need to do all that stuff, and so you are less, you do not have any other choice, right? You are less flexible. The thing is that the reason why people work with a prep center and the reason why prep centers, even when you scale, while you could actually reduce your cost and increase your profits by having a warehouse, but the reason why people keep working with prep centers is because it gives you a lot of flexibility, all right? You do not need to commute to a specific place, not only that, right? But it's not the only thing. If you want to, you can run your business from anywhere in the world. And this is why I'm currently working with a prep center. I could, I have plans to eventually go back to the US and, get my own warehouse. I don't know how far in the future, but, you get tied up to a place and you get tied up in managing the operation, and it does not necessarily align with what I'm seeing right now, what I want to do right now. Yes, it's one of the things that I want to do. I do not know when I want to actually do it. I may do it for a couple of months, and just maybe next Q4, who knows, to work for next Q4 and get it tried for a little bit and then see how it goes. But working with a prep center actually gives you a lot of flexibility. Thanks to, since I've been, if you guys follow the channel, you know that I've been traveling now for the last probably 5 months, something like that, like for the last 6 months. I've been able to go back home, see my family, travel to France, travel to the Netherlands. What other countries did I get to? It just gives you the flexibility. This is things that I would not have been able to do if I was working with a warehouse. Yes, I could have traveled maybe 1 week here and there, but I could not have been able to stay with my family, see my friends, do all the things that I've been able to do since I started working with a prep center. Working with a prep center, it's actually, in my opinion, where I am right now and where I see my business going, it's actually the cost that I'm ready to pay the cost of working with a prep center instead of getting my own warehouse to live the experience that I'm living right now, because it gives me more freedom, all right? If I want to actually travel for the next 6 months, and I want to travel the world for the next 6 months, I'm totally free to do it. I can go and work from rural China if I wanted to, or from Pakistan if I wanted to, from deep Pakistan, and I could do it if I wanted to, right? I could travel the world, go to some remote places, and my business would still work, even if I did not have an internet connection 24/7. My business can work. I do not need to be present. I can basically, if I want to, I can basically work on my business 1 day a week. And my business is gonna, especially right now that it is Q4, and we are gonna talk about like when we do the monthly recap, like especially right now that it's Q4, I do not even need to. Like it's on easy mode and I'm taking advantage of that. I'm not even sourcing that much. I haven't been sourcing a lot for the last 3 months maybe. I'm really doing some minimal sourcing and my business is still working good, and maybe depending on how my stock is going to go this month, and like if I'm gonna have stuff available, because you know with FC transfers and stuff like that, depending on how fast stuff checks in, I could have a record month, or because it's Q4 obviously, or just like a really good month compared to the numbers that I've been doing for the last 2-3 months, right? And so you know, this is things that like working with having a warehouse is actually great. It helps you, it's going to help you scale way faster, but I am personally willing to sacrifice that growth to live the way I've been living currently, right? You know, I love the US, I love being in the US, I love scaling my business, but it is such a great feeling to be able to know that you are able to travel, you are able to work from anywhere in the world. And I do not feel like it may be different for you if you are actually in a city that you do not plan to live, you do not necessarily have planned to travel. Yes, start with a warehouse. Especially if you actually start doing way more wholesale, right? Start with a warehouse, get your warehouse, and start working this way. But if you really want the freedom, if the reason why you are doing this is that you want the freedom, you do not necessarily need to get to that step where you get your own warehouse. You can scale your online arbitrage business to good numbers without going that way. You can work with the prep center. It all depends on how you want to design your life, and you should design your business based on what you want your life to look like. Right now I do not want my life to be tied to one specific place, and so because of that, you know, it's not necessarily compatible with having my own warehouse. But this is something that I see myself doing down the line, and that I want to actually start developing, that I've started working on a little bit, and I haven't talked about it yet on the channel, but this is something that I've started working on slowly, you know, little by little. This is something that I've been working on while I'm actually doing something else, you know. But this is something that I am actively working on a little bit. But yeah, it's really this difference. Like having a prep center gives you some freedom, gives you a lot of freedom that you are not gonna have once you work with your own warehouse. No, you could get a lease for 6 months for your warehouse and see how it goes. And especially, you know, for the second part of the year, if you want to actually do a lot of FBM, and people have done it last year, for example. If you want to do a lot of FBM and really scale during Q4, and this is what I may be doing next year, because like, I'm not gonna lie, this year, you know, yes, I'm probably gonna have a record month, maybe. Like there's chance that I actually have a record month, depending on the forecasts say that I'm having that I'm gonna have a record month, but it could not be the case if things, because you know those forecasts are with sell abroad, and things can slow down like when your stuff is transferring and stuff like that. So it really depends on that. But of course, like this is something that I plan to potentially do next Q4, is to actually get something and like do a lot of FBM and to be able to scale my business, because I could have done and you know, yes, my Q4 is going to be good, but I did not take full advantage of this because I'm just not in the US right now, and I have things that I consider more important as of right now. But yeah, having a prep center gives you a lot of flexibility. Having a warehouse allows you to scale way faster, even though you have some overhead, but like your cost per unit is going to drop a lot. Your prep cost by unit is going to drop a lot, and it's just going to increase your margins a lot, right? This is money that you can reinvest into your business. There's also a lot of other stuff that you can do, but it's going to be a little bit harder, of course, if you do online arbitrage, because you're going to pay sales tax. But yeah, if you can, yeah, it depends on a lot of things. But just remember those things. Also, the prep centers with the tax-free states are going to save you a lot of money. That makes justifying the cost of that makes justifying the prep fee easier. So these are the things that you really need to think of. If you do this for the freedom like most of you guys want, you do not necessarily want to grow a huge operation. Like, you know, like, yes, you may think of it like when you start, but like most of you guys are actually after this for the freedom that it actually gives you. If it's the case, if it's the case, like hiring a prep center is probably the best solution for you. Not everybody needs to go with the warehouse, with the huge operation. You can just keep your operation lean with a prep center, with maybe one VA, two VAs, or maybe no VAs if you source yourself. You could actually do this just by yourself, and keep a lot of the profit for yourself and live a comfortable life. That's it. That's what I wanted to say today. I hope this video was helpful. If it made you think a little bit about what your goal is with Amazon. If it was, leave a like, subscribe to all that stuff. If you want to see other videos teaching you about Amazon, I release a new video every day, so you can subscribe and you can watch other videos that are appearing on the screen right now. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new video.